Hi everyone, welcome to the data collection and data analysis tutorial. I have an individual student profile here to show you. In the top section, we can fill out the student's name, teacher's name, term, and the date of the assessment and whether it's a pre or post assessment. I like to use ticks and crosses in colour just because it helps me have a very visual snapshot at the end of the assessment as to what the children's strengths are and what we really need to work on next. So as you can see in the notes section, I have made a comment about the child's attitude. It was really positive and they were focused the whole time. I find that really important to include because it is something that you can help children develop if there is an issue with it. The main focus from this data would be to develop phonic knowledge of short vowels, eh, I, and ah. She's also getting confused between B and D and P and Q, but I want the main focus to be the vowels because if they're not getting the short sounds of vowels, it's going to inhibit their ability to be able to read vowel consonant and consonant vowel consonant words, which we know is the next stage of the progression. And so here we have the post assessment. And now we can see much more green, which is always very exciting. And I've also recorded here that she was just so proud and excited to have been able to show that she now knows the eh and I sound. So that was really nice. So we're now going to be focusing on the short ah and eh sound, as this knowledge is still going to inhibit her reading some vowel consonants and consonant vowel consonant words. Over here, we have the rubric filled in. There are times where this student isolates sounds, especially if they're a sharp sound, so ah, t. However, when the sounds are soft, she tends to blend. Am. So it's really interesting to be able to pick up on that detail, that it's the sharp sounds that she's struggling with and the soft sounds are fine. But that tells me she's starting to get the hang of blending, and it shouldn't be long with some modelling and support for her to be able to blend through all words. Okay. And so here with the consonant, vowel, consonant words, the reason from the previous data, I know the reason that this student wasn't able to read the word damn is because she's having trouble differentiating between a B and a D. And of course, with the word pin and sit, because there are some of those sharp sounds in there, they're also struggling to blend. So I know that this is going to continue to be a focus for this student. Moving on to the whole class data profile, I've written the name of my class in there, and I really wanted to talk to you about these two data profiles. So we can see that when all of the ticks are in, we can easily see what the children have got and what they need to work on. Wherever we see, you know, a line or a column of red, we know that's automatically going to become a focus for us. So I just highlight that letter in a different colour and know that in my whole class lessons, they are going to be a focus for me. I'm going to expose the children to those letter and sounds in as many ways as I can, and I will do lots of explicit teaching about those sounds as well. I included this page here to show you, so I'm talking about this one here, to show you that within each sound there are actually two tick boxes. The one on the left-hand side is for the letter name, and the one on the right-hand side is for the letter sound. Now, it is quite small when you print this out, so I would actually personally suggest to only put a cross in the boxes that children get wrong. If you leave the rest of the boxes clear for the ones that get correct, it's going to be much easier for you to fill in and then see at the end. If you're going to do it digitally, you could fill in the whole thing, no problem. Okay. Onto another rubric that has the whole class. I just wanted to show you that on the left-hand side, you can put all of the children's names. And then where we can see the breakdown of around about 50% correct and 50% incorrect, that is the optimal point of intervention for the whole class. So I know that in my teaching, I need to focus on the children blending through CVC words and becoming very used to rereading the word after they've blended it. And finally, here are the phonic goals and groups. So once you have all of your student data into the whole class data, you can easily see where your children are sitting on the continuum. You can write their names against the progression points of the continuum, and automatically you've got the student goals and groups. And you can figure out what you need to really focus on with those children. You might notice that some of my students are not on this goals and groups page. It's because they've actually achieved all of the progression points in the foundation level, and they're actually moving on to the level 1 foundation progression. So that might apply to you as well. And just don't forget that we actually do have a level 1 phonics assessment if you need to continue assessing your students along the continuum. Thanks, everyone.